Hi, I'm Julia, and I've spent the last 2 years studying bird responses to ecological forestry as my capstone project in the honors program. In the course of my research, I've personally counted 740 snags, read over 60 articles, and spent hours entering, sorting, and analyzing ecological data. However, when compared to the rest of the work I've done in the honors program, what I've learned about birds has been a relatively minor part of my overall educational experience. The Capstone project first interested me because of the opportunity to gain extra experience with environmental research techniques in an applied setting. After reviewing current literature in scientific journals, I quickly decided that I wanted to focus my project on learning to apply GIS to biological systems. GIS interested me for several reasons. First of all, it is a relatively new technology with lots of room for creative exploration and development. Secondly, it has fascinating potential for making sense of large datasets and allowing us to analyze systems that have appeared random up until now. And thirdly, it is also an excellent tool for communicating complex ideas to the wider public. So I'd picked my topic, but I needed something to apply my GIS to. Another student, Beth Connolly, had already started studying birds at Rainy Creek, but then realized that the project was not compatible with her timeline. I've always been interested in birds, so Dr. Diane Underwood suggested that I might take over her project, and I agreed. Although I have no interest in specializing in birds as a long-term thing, I realized immediately that this was the perfect application for the GIS skills I hoped to develop. I immediately set about modifying the original study design for my purposes, adding a snag survey and GPS stream mapping to reduce the number of confounding factors. One of the biggest challenges in my honors project was staying focused and not getting distracted by new questions I developed while working through my data. I would have liked to have mapped the canopy structure and surveyed insect populations to get a more complete picture of the forest, and I also became very curious about amphibians and their use of large woody debris. I had to keep telling myself that I could come back to these topics later in future research projects. Another challenge was learning to use the GIS software. GIS is extremely complicated, even at a basic level, so I enrolled in a class at Green River Community College in Auburn to learn how to use it. The problem was, it was not actually an online class, and I wasn't able to attend any of the lectures. The teacher, Professor Jabori, was extremely helpful, but we soon encountered problems neither of us had foreseen. The class assignments quickly grew too large to submit online, and soon I was spending hours every week finding new ways to take apart and compress components of the GIS files so they could be sent by email and reassembled on the other end. Although I certainly learned much more about the underpinnings of the software because of this, and I finished with an A in the course, I spent at least twice as much time on this class as I had bargained for. Although I love science and I intend to major in environmental science, I also have a long-standing passion for literature and reading in general. The honors seminars were an opportunity to tap into this interest and use it to fuel my learning. The emphasis on reading seminal works allowed me to connect with ideas about American political society and citizenship in a way I never had before. Through these courses, I gained the ability to be comfortable with the idea that it's possible to modify and improve a system without throwing away the entire thing, and that a few flaws don't automatically mean the whole system is worthless. These classes also provided background for the material I encountered in my other classes. Although it's a strong claim, I think I can say that the intellectual quality of these seminars has not been equaled elsewhere in my educational experience. Overall, my experience in the honors program has given me a much better rounded education and helped me develop clearer academic goals. The knowledge that I remain interested in environmental science even when things get frustrating has been extremely helpful in settling any doubts I had about my major. Also, my experience with GIS was so positive that I now intend to continue my studies and eventually go into GIS professionally. I've benefited greatly from the honors experience, and I'm happy to have been a part of the program.